Good morning and happy Father's Day. That's why I'm wearing my Superman t-shirt. Because I want to show fathers everywhere that you are a superhero. Oh dear. Look, dead simple. I want to show you a couple of tips being a dad that sort of occurred to me when I was thinking about it last night. About what makes a dad a dad. Why do people need to appreciate dads? And of course, one of the things that happens on Father's Day is you may get appreciation, but at the same time you might not. So you have to generate it internally. Do you know what drives you? One of the things that's incredible about being a dad is that to most people, the biggest fear, in fact I think it's for everybody, the biggest fear that anybody has in life is not to be able to provide for your family. That's what drives you, that's what's inside you, that's what gets you out of bed, you go to work and you go fighting and all the rest of it to make sure that you can put food on the table and your family grows up and be protected the best that you possibly can. That's why it's above all the things that other people would fear more than anything, making sure that you look after your family. Now the thing is, this is different from the way that it works with mum, because you know when you fell in love with mum, and you both had that real love and that obsession with everybody, with each other, about, you know, I wonder what she's up to, I wonder if she's in bad mood, good mood. Those hormones, those chemicals that get into people as couples to make them fall in love, pass on from a mother to the child. So that obsession that mums have with making sure they've eaten properly, and they go to bed at the right time, and they dress the right way, that is exactly why they have it, because it changes. And your relationship with mum changes at the same time. Does that make sense? Okay, let's go on to the things that maybe you never got taught, and I didn't get taught. But to a degree I did. My dad's amazing, I've got to say. Thanks, Peter Crane, for everything I am, because you taught me, and I try the very best I can to be even a fraction of what you do, or you did for me. So, how to be an amazing dad. A couple of things you've got to work on. First of all, be nice to mum. Even though you have arguments, remember the fact that she is probably the primary carer and deserves that bit of respect. And if she gets angry, if she gets upset and she's tired, pick up the slack whenever you can. And also, avoid arguments in front of the kids if you can do. Because they look at the whole picture and say, you know what, this is the way that life should be. Well, it's not. It's not. They should have the best possible upbringing. If you're going to have a disagreement, try and take it so it happens elsewhere, privately, so you two can talk about it elsewhere. Also, a couple of things about being a dad. Kids don't care how well you do at work. They don't get it. They don't care how many certificates you have, how many awards you have. They don't care how much you travel or what sort of car you drive. None of that stuff. What do they want? Time with dad. That's a quality thing they're after. So as much as you can do, make sure that you give them time. They love that stuff. And you never get it back again. Before you know it, that time that they're desperate to have you with you will flip around. As they get older, they've got teenage buds, and they're going out chasing girls or boys or whatever's going on, then they might have a lot less time for you. So enjoy this time while you have it. When it comes to being a dad, be the role model. Teach them as much as you possibly can. Teach them your philosophy. Test them. Get them to understand the things in life that you've learned as life lessons. There are no rule books apart from people like me and so on sharing stuff, but your own personality, your own drive, your own experience is what they're after. They're a work in progress. You know, nowadays everyone's obsessed with playing computer games and downloading the latest app and working away through Candy Crush, whatever it is. The best app there's ever been is your kid. You put in stuff and they grow and they learn, but they learn from you. And if you don't teach them, then they learn in a playground from other people's kids. So that means that other people's influence on their kids might end up having a bigger influence on yours than you could imagine. Now that's always going to happen to a degree, but you have to make a decision how much you're going to be involved in this, how much you're going to drive it. So all the other things that are important as well, make sure you spend quality time, make sure you teach them as best as you possibly can. Don't go too hard on them, they are learning, but make sure that you do still drive with them and give them as much energy and enthusiasm. Don't scold them too much, but teach them life lessons at the same time. The most important life lesson I've taught my gorgeous little girl Maya is basically to take the blame for everything that happens to herself, to understand that she has choice. So things that happen, don't blame it on anybody else, don't blame it on daddy. You knocked it over, so what are you going to do about it? That ability to understand what you do next is one of the key things that most people don't know. They end up growing up blaming the society, blaming their parents, blaming their culture, blaming the economy, blaming blah, 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 instead of realizing they should be empowered to look after things themselves. So from a very early age, do that. Now there's lots of other tips you can give them. Like for instance, read to them. That time when they go to bed is magic. First thing in the morning. I mean, right behind me now, I don't know if you can see. Let me share it with you. What's this? That's Maya's Fruit Loops. right? She's upstairs watching Teen Titans Go, and here we have her lunch. Can you believe that's her lunch? Unbelievable. Prawn, sweet and sour prawns, and naan bread and cucumber. Now, I don't take the blame for making it. I bought it yesterday, but it still counts. Normally, mummy makes it. But the whole point is that you need to look after them the same way as you expect them to look after you in your later years. They may do, or they may not, but they'll learn from it right now. So spend as much time as you can doing sports. Do all the things that you really enjoy with them, and they will learn from you. If you don't do it, later on you're going to find that there's certain things missing in their lives, and there's a magic number on how they take things in. Up until the age of 7, they suck things in like a sponge. After that, there's a lid that goes on it, and they don't buy into adults and parents being gods anymore. They believe they're just a little bit older. By the time they get to a much older age, that influence that you want to put in becomes an annoying nagging sound from their parents. So up to the age of 7, spend as much time, inject as much knowledge as you can do to make them as strong as they possibly can. Now you know exactly what you need to do, because you're a dad, it's inbuilt, but there is no rule book, so you've got to learn as you go along. Ask questions, talk to other dads, talk to mums, put a united front on what goes on, because there is no set way that your kid has to grow up. But most of all, let them be themselves. They are not you. They might be 50% of you, but then again, they might go up to be completely different. If you get X and Y chromosomes and you put them in for any child that grows up, you can get 2 black parents having a white kid. You can have 2 black mice having a white... You know what I mean? It really, really is a combination of genetics. You can end up with your kid being exactly like her auntie and nothing like her parents, because of the way genetics come together. But one thing is for true, the thought processes that they grow up with is what you can inject into them. So when you spend time, make sure it is quality time. Quality time is not on your phone or your iPad. Quality time is time you devote to them. But even so, if you do fall asleep in front of them, which you do sometimes, I know I'm just as guilty, that does actually count as quality time. Why? Because it means you are there. If you have to do stuff in their vicinity. If you have to work at home, let them work around you. Maya's always drawing pictures and doing all sorts of games and stuff. And yes, it can be a little bit annoying when you try to concentrate on stuff. But to them, it means the world. Why? Because Daddy's in the house. So there's lots of other tips. Please, please, please share them on this post. So anything you're thinking of that I might have missed because I'm doing this live and I might forget a few things, and please put them in as well. I'd love to know. I might be missing a trick or two. I probably am missing a lot of tricks. I'd love to hear it from you. So for dads everywhere, happy Father's Day. You might not hear from anybody else. I hope that you do. Mums, keep up the good work. We love you, even though we sometimes don't say it enough. And whatever you're doing today, even if you're not a dad, go out and get some practice and become one. But all the kids will appreciate you as a direct result of the love that you give. So have an awesome day and look after yourself. Oh, and by the way, if you want to get my posts on a regular basis, all you have to do is follow the business page. Just click on follow, and whenever I broadcast live, which is usually about 3 times a day, you'll get an alert to say that it's happening. So happy Father's Day, look after yourself, and I'll catch you later on. Be good. Superman, Super Dad, that's you.